The Undisputed Starter. In a Champions League final, the manager doesn't check the tactics board to see if his captain is playing, he checks it to see who is playing next to him. This is the Undisputed Starter, the player whose name is written in ink before the season even begins. Their value is not just talent, it is the psychological certainty they provide to the other 10 players on the pitch. Sergio Ramos at Real Madrid during their historic run between 2014 and 2018 is the defining modern example. Whether under Ancelotti or Zidane, the system was built on the assumption that Ramos would be there to anchor the line. Statistically, when you measure this through a system reliability metric, the data becomes terrifying for any manager. When Ramos was missing from the lineup during this historic era, Real Madrid's win percentage did not just dip, it collapsed. He was not just a defender, he was the answer that unlocked the freedom for the rest of the team to attack. Without this foundation, the squad lacks a spine. When the pressure of a knockout game hits, a team without an undisputed starter starts to second-guess their positioning, leading to the kind of defensive collapses that end seasons in the round of 16. The rotation player. Most fans think rotation player is just a polite way of saying backup. They are wrong. In a trouble-winning side, the rotation player is a high-level athlete whose job is to keep the starters looking over their shoulder. They do not just fill in, they drive the intensity of every training session, ensuring that no one, not even the stars, gets comfortable. Bernardo Silva did not just play for Manchester City's trouble-winning side, he functioned as the squad's tactical heartbeat. He was technically an elite starter, but Pep Guardiola rotated him constantly to maintain a relentless tactical press. By having a player of that quality waiting in the wings, the level of the team never drops. Bernardo became the system insurance policy, a world-class player that allowed Guardiola to refresh his lineup without sacrificing a single ounce of tactical control. Without this role, the starters become complacent. By the semifinals, fatigue sets in, and because there is no one in the squad capable of pushing them, the team's overall level flatlines exactly when it needs to peak. The specialist. Sometimes a Champions League campaign hits a wall, a low block defense that refuses to break. That's when you need the specialist. This is not your most well-rounded player, it is the one who does one thing better than anyone else in the world. Whether it is a set-piece master or a tempo metronome, they exist to solve one specific problem. Toni Kroos completed the 2014 World Cup and 3 consecutive Champions League campaigns with a passing accuracy that never dropped below 93%. In the high-stakes environment of elite football, where a single misplaced ball in the midfield triggers a season-ending counterattack, Kroos operated as the team's primary regulator. He was not just a midfielder, he was the pace setter, a specialist in tempo management who dictated the physical and mental rhythm of the greatest dynasty in modern European history. Without a specialist, elite teams often pass the ball to death without ever penetrating. They look dominant but never score. This role is the key that turns when the tactical door is bolted shut, providing the one specific skill the system was missing: the experienced backup. Every winning squad has a sage, an elite veteran who has seen everything. This is the experienced backup. They might only play 500 minutes a season, but their real work happens behind the scenes. They are the ones who pull a young star aside after a bad half and recalibrate the team's emotional state. Milner at Liverpool during their 2019 triumph is the gold standard. He averaged more assists per 90 minutes than any other player in the 2017 to 2018 Champions League season, breaking the all-time tournament record. Despite being labeled a utility man by the media, Milner functioned as Liverpool's operational standard, an elite veteran who provided the technical and emotional discipline required to execute Jurgen Klopp's high-intensity system. This role is the stabilizer every champion pays for. The squad cover player. There is a role in football most fans never notice until it is gone: the squad cover player. These are the positional chameleon who provide professional-grade coverage across 3 or 4 different positions. They are the reason a mid-season injury crisis does not turn into a season-ending disaster. Nacho Fernandez holds more Champions League winners' medals than almost every legendary club in football history. While icons like Manchester United, Juventus, and Inter Milan struggle to reach 3 or 4 trophies, Nacho has quietly secured 6. He is the ultimate ultimate safety net, the man who ensured that a decade of Real Madrid dominance never collapsed, despite constant injuries to their superstar starters. Check out the impact of a player who does not have one job because he's the master of every job on the pitch. Whether he was needed at right back to pocket a speed merchant or at center back to withstand a 90-minute siege, Nacho remained the solution. He provided a seamless transition where most teams would have faced a catastrophe. The squad cover player is the invisible hero who ensures the machine never stops moving no matter which part breaks. He is the guardian of the bench who became a king of Europe. The Academy Graduate. A team is not just a collection of transfers, it needs a soul. The Academy Graduate provides the tactical DNA of the club. Because they have been trained in the club's philosophy since age 10, they understand the system instinctively. They satisfy homegrown quotas, but more importantly, they represent the identity of the fans on the pitch. Sergio Busquets started the 2009 Champions League final at just 20 years old, only a year after playing in the Spanish 4th Division. His rapid ascent was not just due to his talent, but because he was the perfect procedural match for Barcelona's complex tactical system. He and players like Phil Foden in 2023 represent the internal solution, talent that does not need to be taught the club's philosophy because they have been breathing it since childhood. A team of 11 expensive strangers often lacks clutch identity. In the final 5 minutes, when tactics break down, you need a player who feels the weight of the badge personally. Without the Academy Graduate, the club is just a corporation. With them, it's a dynasty. The impact substitute. Most players hate the bench, but for the impact substitute, the bench is a launch pad. This is the player whose 20 minutes of freshness against a tired defense is more dangerous than 90 minutes of a superstar. They are the closer who enters the game when the opposition is at their most vulnerable. Ole Gunnar Solskjær averaged a goal every 92 minutes across an entire Premier League season, a rate of efficiency that made him statistically more dangerous coming off the bench than most world-class strikers are when they start. While most players viewed the sidelines as a place of exile, Solskjær treated the bench as a tactical laboratory. He was not just a backup, he was the primary closer, a specialist who spent 80 minutes studying the opposition's weaknesses so he could exploit them in 10. In the 1999 Champions League final, Sir Alex Ferguson did not turn to Solskjær out of desperation. He turned to him because he was a tactical solution to a tired Bayern Munich defense. Without an impact sub, a manager looks at his bench in the 80th minute and sees more of the same. The game stays deadlocked. This role is the final boss that changes the history of the sport in injury time. 7 roles, 1 trophy. If you're building a Champions League squad from scratch today, which of these is the hardest to find? Is it the undisputed starter who never fails, or the specialist who unlocks the door? Drop your tactical breakdown in the comments. And if you want to see every famous football dribbling move explained, click the video on your screen right now. I will see you there.